Good morning. My name is James Lollies. I work for the Area Agency on Aging in Southwest Arkansas and DHS, the Office of Long-Term Care. My job is a Regional Ombudsman for Region 7. My supervisor is Miss Ruthie Langston, and it's two of us, me and also my coworker Doris. It is April, the month of Elderly Abuse Month. As an ombudsman, my job is to make sure that all the residents are taken care of. I go in and out of the nursing homes and I check on them. I'm the advocate. I make sure that their medication, their daily activities are performed. I make sure that if anything goes wrong, I investigate it through a complaint and I resolve it. If it's not resolved, then we pursue this complaint to the next level, which would be the Office of Long-Term Care, which is a state agency. Today, we want to discuss elder abuse. This has been a long 12 and 14 months for the elderly. We have used different tools to try to monitor to see what's going on inside the nursing homes. Also inside the assisted living and the day programs that were running. Unfortunately, even though we used Skype, FaceTime, telephone calls, and interviews with the residents by phone, we still didn't get the full picture. So as data suggests now, that only 40% of abuse incidences were reported, but 95% of neglect was reported. So here we are, we're looking at a difference of 50%. So why is it that neglect is reported, but abuse is not? And then we have to define what is abuse. There are several kinds of abuse with the elderly. You have financial abuse, you have emotional abuse, you have physical, you have sexual, you have verbal. Working as an ombudsman, we get a lot of calls from family members, sometimes staff, sometimes administrators, sometimes, as the residents call, outsiders. They consider us outsiders because we live and work on the outside, and we come in to visit and check on them. The residents sometimes, when feel abused or neglected, they take it as a daily activity or a routine because of where they live at. They have this fear that if they tell or talk to anyone, they'll be retaliated against. Unfortunately, that's a common thing in the nursing home environment. That's where it's very important as an ombudsman and also as a family member that we do better to get them to talk to us. So we developed this system called wraparound component. The wraparound component is where we get the residents inside the nursing home, family members that they trust, staff that they trust. It can be housekeeping, it can be dietary, it can be the DON, the ADON, it can even be the administrator, to talk to them and call us. Sometimes we get calls after hours, sometimes we get calls on weekend, reporting different kinds of activities and abuse. So when you look at this month as Elder Abuse Month, it should be 12 months out of a year because the fact that it happens a lot. When looking at the information that's provided from state to state and nationally, we find out that the number one cause of abuse is miscommunication. That's why it's very important to establish a communication link, to have a support system where if one resident can't talk, another one can. They can voice their concerns. And it works very well. We also try to engage in family members, community people, support, pastors, neighbors, friends, and of course the police officers. We want them to be able to feel confident enough to call 911 if they feel that their life has been in danger or they've been abused and they can't get resolution for it. So, how do we do this? By communication, talking, building trust, and building a common way to express feelings. So, what are some of the signs of abuse? There are many different kinds of signs of abuse. Most commonly, they're physical. You can see bruises, you can see scratches, you can see breaks, and then you can see weight loss. You can see a change in appearance, a change in socialization, and a change just in that individual's soul. So when we go into the nursing home, we make our visits, we look at several things. We just don't look at the resident. We just don't ask them, how you doing? Did you have a good day? Did you have a good night? We observe the activities. Are they participating? Are they staying in their room? What's going on with them? Because of COVID and because of the isolation, residents are just now beginning to trust the outsiders again. So when you get a form of abuse, you immediately report it. You have to investigate it. We are the caregivers for these individuals, and we have to make sure that they trust us and make sure that what we provide for them is a resolution. Abuse can come in the form of verbal abuse. A lot of times the CNAs get upset with a resident because they don't want to get out of bed, or they don't want to eat, or they can't understand them, or they don't understand them, or they won't understand them. They don't want to. Excuse me. And that causes a form of abuse, which is verbal abuse. When you talk down to an individual, it's not right. When you talk about an individual, it's not right. It don't hurt you to come to work every day and say, good morning. How you doing? How was your night? How you feel? When you ask those open-end questions, normally the resident, if they trust you, will say, hey, it was bad. I didn't get in the ice. I didn't get service. They didn't answer the call light. They were screaming at me. They was telling me to shut up. They called me stupid. They called him stupid. All these forms are abuse. It's not right, and it's against the law. They have the right to be treated with dignity and respect, just like we do. But unfortunately, they're in an environment where they have to trust the people that provide the services for them. So we, as they call us, the outsiders, have to make sure that we engage with them on a regular basis to keep this connection open so that we can see what's going on. So if you look at the data, it suggests that a lot of your residents that have dementia and Alzheimer's have more engagement of some type of physical or medicational or verbal abuse because staff don't understand their behaviors. They don't understand what they're trying to communicate, or they don't understand how they're communicating. So it takes a special trained person or skill to understand what's going on. Even though they go through training and they have been trained in certain elements, sometimes retraining is necessary. So as I make my rounds and I go into a unit where there are Alzheimer's and dementia patients, there's several things I look for. I look to see if they're making eye contact. I look to see if they're still smiling, or they're waving, are they happy, are they sad? Are they dirty? Are they clean? Have they lost any weight? Do they have any new scratches or bruises? When the last time they had a fall? What caused the fall and how did they fall? And when you get into that type of investigative notion, emotion, 9 times out of 10, the staff become more alert that you are going to check to see what's going on. We know there are accidents all the time where a resident may fall, or may trip, or may slip in the shower or down the hall, or get into an altercation with each other. But any form of physical, mental, or verbal, or however abuse it is, need to be reported immediately because they trust us to take care of them. So I would like to say for the month of April that what we went through this past year with the isolation, the separation, the not knowing if their friend is going to be there with them tomorrow, or the family, they can't hug, they can't kiss, they can't smell, they can't touch them. That was a form of abuse to them, because they tell me that all the time. You know, they felt like they were being punished, and even though they were not, it was necessary to keep them safe. So, not only this month should be Abuse and Neglect Month, but every month moving forward. I think we need to develop a connect system, a wraparound system, a system that shows and reassures them that we're looking out for their better good, and establish a relationship with the staff and the family members to let them know that we're not going to tolerate this. And as long as the residents know that they have an outlet, a person to contact, and tell these secrets, as they say to me, then they feel good. They'll take their chance. And when they report it, then we investigate it. We make sure that those individuals that do intentionally or unintentionally these acts to the residents or the elders be punished. And there are many ways you can do that. You can report it to the Office of Long-Term Care, the Inspector General's Office of the State of Arkansas, the Attorney General Office. You can call the police, 911. You can tell the administrator. You can tell the DON. But you have to follow up with it. You can tell me. You can call the Office of the Ombudsman Program. Report it. Don't hesitate. Because every report that comes in is in confidentiality. It's confidential. We'll take the most cautious and precautious steps to make sure that they don't know who reported it. And we will investigate it and make sure that justice is served. So the only thing I can say moving forward with abuse in nursing homes in our region and any region is that it's very seldomly reported. And that's sad. But when you investigate and find out that it did occur, when you bring justice to those individuals, that's a reward to the residents and to yourself. So let's stand up as human beings and family members and friends, co-workers or workers, state agencies, local agencies, and also the nursing home business. Let's do the right thing for the elders. We are here to provide a service for them, and they pay us, and they trust us, and we need to make sure we do the right thing for them. So moving forward for the month of April, in May and June and July and August, September, October, November, and December, let's make sure that no form or any form of abuse or neglect go unaddressed. And if you need me, you can call me about question about elderly abuse or activities or things going on in any of our 13 counties of Southwest Arkansas. And I will say, God bless and have a good day. Bye.